This is that one song that you heard so many times, and every time you hear it, you're like, I'm not gonna bump to this song. But then you start catching a vibe. I'm sorry, not sorry.
Yeah.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang,
Whoa, East Coast with that gang, gang. You know we don't play games, whoa. Hop up on that wagon, oh please just get out the way. You know we stay stuntin', right up in your face. We sorry, not sorry, we just stuck up in our ways. West Coast, go ahead, stand up. Put that glass and hands up. Gang, 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 we famed up. Got that change, we bagged up. True love, we stay manned up. Ahem like I'm wheezy, yeah. Rap game just too easy, drip so sick, I'm queasy, whoa.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang.
Yeah. Watch me finesse, walk to the line. Good versus evil, God in his prime. Always in prime, always on time. Our time to shine, wifey is fine. I'm doing fine, glad that you asked. God fill me up, mud in my glass. God clean me up, all that I ask. Wherever you headed there fast. I am ahead, you are in last. Last time I checked, you were all gas. Gas in the whip it up fast. Fast and all furious, I'm starting to spaz. Getting all curious, you put me on blast. Blasting that Darius, kids in the back. Back to the future is black. Black like T'Challa, Wakanda attack.
East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang. East Coast with the gang, gang, gang. West Coast with the gang, gang, gang. Lover with the gang, gang, gang. You know we don't play gang, gang.
Yeah. It's getting crazy out here, y'all. Stay focused. Let's go, KD. Take a look around you, you can find your way, man. Find your way, man. You can find your way. Yeah, take a look around you, you can find your way, man. You can find your way. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Hey, you the one that say that. You and me go way back. When this whole thing over, I'ma send my invoice, pay that. You don't wanna say that. You don't want this payback. I keep my composure, this my kingdom, nigga, stay back. We had a couple of moments. You had a choice, nigga, on it. Your real colors, they showing. I'm real, nigga, I'm focused. When I come around, I'm fly with it. Stay moving, do buy with it. New sound, just vibe with it. Same truth and we die with it. I see it like it's an obstacle. I never sit on the fence. Nothing to me is impossible. Music of me to the end. Most of the shit is illogical. All of y'all niggas depend on what they pretend. Just think what you had. Stop looking at trends. You wearing your eyes like it's topical. Now the pain is gone, the fame is on, and they play my song. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, it's real. Yeah, I ain't talk is talk, and move is move. When I come in, bitch, I change your way. Got things to do, I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said take a look around you, nigga, find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. New era, I got y'all. Real game, we pop off, no knockoffs. Open eyes, we watch out. Mobilize, won't cop out. the 19 cops out, don't flop now. Open skies, we fly now. New agenda, they try now. Most y'all getting real scared of the headlines when you find out. And getting real near. If you don't know, you behind now. Behind the times, government hide behind the lines. Most brands trying to monetize. All of us have to stay inside, don't socialize. Talk is talk, and move is move. Will not come in. Bitch, I change your way. Got things to do. I done pay my dues. But where was you? Nigga, where was you? I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. I said, take a look around you, nigga. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe. Find your way, babe.
Swole Normuth.
The sun is shining, the birds are chirping, the bacon is sizzling. Welcome to the Daily Swole.
Testing. Testicles. Welcome, everyone, to episode 3280 of the Daily Month of Swole, the most muscular Swolecast, Beercast, Broadcast, Gamecast, Mancast, Pimpcast, Sleevescast, and Slaycast in the realm, because when I flex, you flex, we all flex our biceps. What's going on? Beaches, booshes, bustas, hustles, and yo hoes. It's your boy Papa Swolio back with another episode. In today's episode, the Beastcast is brought to you as powered, is sponsored by Everest and K2, flexing on all you fucking
It's a fucking Catalina lineman.
Welcome to the show, fam. Hit the like button. Thanks for being here. We are live on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. And of course, make sure you subscribe and leave a 5-star review on Spotify and Apple Podcast. Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. We haven't had a Swole Slut card in a while, but I feel like our Canadian brethren, Canadian Swole fan members, need a Swole Slut card today because if you've been paying attention to Canadian elections, Canada doesn't want to be a country anymore. And they definitely haven't earned the right to be our 51st state. How dare you, Canada? How dare you?
How dare you?
Shame. So I hope the best. I hope the best for Canada. But
Shame.
my goodness.
Shame. Shame.
Couldn't follow suit. Couldn't follow suit from Big Brother. Couldn't take a little bit of a lead from your American counterparts. Oh well. Oh, Canada, start to move to the United States. I'll tell you what, if you voted conservative in Canada, you're welcome to come to the United States. But Canada has just proven that you're not ready to be our 51st state. You haven't earned it. You're not ready. We don't want all that voting in our country. Anyway, we wish you the best, but if you paid attention to the elections, I guess that carny, libtard, tyrannical, progressive nonsense is going to continue. And we wish you the best, but Canada has fallen. And it's going to struggle, but we're here for you. If you want to take shelter and refuge, the United States is here. Okay, let's get into it. Hashtag Swole Slut for a chance to win today's Swole card. Let's get into that tip. Babe, just an inch. It's cold outside. All right, yesterday was our accountability meeting, so we had an awesome new drop. They do lift in herds. What a great design. If you love Jurassic Park, go and check out this design. We also have the Jurassic Pump design, but this one, they move in herds. They do move in herds. This time, in Jurassic Pump. They lift in herds. Buy one, get one 50% off over at papaswolio.com. Brand new drop now available. Let's get into the first post. We got one from the Swolenormous app. Let's jump into Jared's post first. Jared says, hey all, I'm a newcomer here, late night, waiting to load cattle. I saw Papa's go to the fucking gym reels and almost died laughing. However, after a couple million miles in the seat, my mobility is definitely suffering lately, so I dug into this program, and I really like the no bullshit approach. Believe it or not, I'm not just some fat trucker. I'm 5'11" and 155 pounds with that farm boy strength. I get more physical activity than most drivers with the chasing of livestock, loading, etc., but I definitely like to be able to move more freely and work on my overall strength, trying to make sure I check all these boxes and say hi. So Jared, welcome, and obviously you do a lot of strength training. Some recommendations from the Swole fam in the app, and just right here, I would recommend if you're looking to do some strength training that's targeted, you can look into Maximum Swole because you won't be doing a ton of volume because you're already very physically active. So doing a few targeted movements would be great, but also yoga. So definitely check out the yoga and the yoga studio to help you with that mobility. Plus, we have a lot of mobility master classes like the ankle, knee, and hip mobility, shoulder mobility master classes. So check it out. Welcome to the fam. Welcome to the fam. Jared, super stoked to have you with us. All right, we got a couple more questions. So instead of an accountability text like, hey, what are you working on this week? I asked the Swole fam for questions. A little private member Q&A. We did that episode on Sunday, so check it out, 3278. A couple more questions that we didn't get to yet. Diana says, Papa Swole, what vegetables do you prefer to have with your steak? Parentheses, what vegetables are best to prioritize in the rotation? Personally, I don't eat vegetables. I don't eat broccoli or spinach or kale or Brussels sprouts or anything along those lines. Sometimes Mama Soy will make some mushrooms and onions as a side. Sometimes I eat them. Sometimes I have a little bit. Depends on if I'm in the mood or not. But fruit's fantastic. Fruit like dates, honey, maple syrup, raw dairy. So I get carbohydrates there with my fruit. Sometimes some white rice. Vegetables, right? Chicken's a vegetable. Sometimes we eat chicken. But in terms of actual plant vegetables, I guess that's what you're referring to. You can dabble, see what works best for you. Personally, I don't eat vegetables, or rarely, but it's really also how they are prepared. I'm not going to eat raw vegetables, but if they're sauteed, if they're heated, if they're pressure cooked, they're going to break down a little bit easier in the body. So if you have an issue with certain vegetables, one, you want to avoid them, but also you want to look into how you're cooking and preparing them. So you have to prepare them properly. That makes a huge difference. We have another one from Jen, and then we'll move on to some general questions. Jen says, hey, Pops, one more question. I was doing front squats today, and all of a sudden, I had extreme knee pain in my left knee right on top of the kneecap. I stopped, stretched by bending it, and it finally subsided. Almost like a muscle cramp. I'm not sure. What are your thoughts on what I do wrong? I was able to do squats without weight later. Thanks, Jen. I can't really tell you. I don't know. On top of your kneecap, that's usually just the patellar tendon. So it could have just been something that could have been maybe didn't warm it up properly or whatever. It could just be, something like that in terms of preparation. But something that's really good for tendons, ligaments, skin, hair, nails is collagen supplementation. So you get yourself a good collagen protein that might help with your tendons and connective tissue. It doesn't improve overnight, but after a couple of weeks of taking collagen, you should see a lot of improvements overall with recovery and sleep quality and stuff. Collagen before bed is fantastic, and like chamomile tea, I love it. I have a nice little tea recipe at night that maybe I'll share with the fam. But it's a really good thing to have in the evening for sleep. It's also great for overall recovery and all the connective tissue, right? Hair, skin, and nails, but also your tendons and ligaments. So that's something to keep in mind. But it could just be something preparation, warm up, and you might just have to go back to the drawing board a little bit or try a couple more preparation stretches in general for mobility, like the couch stretch, which is really good because it gets the hips moving independently. And that's when you have one leg back against the wall or your knee on a pad and your foot back up against the wall or on a bench or a couch or some sort of, little fitness bench or some pads or something like that. I have a stretch ladder, so I can put my foot up back on that and doing the couch stretch. So one foot is up like in a lunge position. The back knee is down. The back foot is up behind you. So it's really good for stretching out the quads, because don't forget, the quads are not just muscles across the knee, the rectus fem, crosses the hip joint. So you want to make sure you're lengthening it at the knee and the hip, which is important. Squeeze the glutes, get into that hip extension on that knee that you're stretching. That might be a little bit better if you're doing that on a regular basis. So check that out. All right, let's get into some more questions. Appreciate that. Thank you everyone for responding. Wanted to give members a specific chance for targeted questions. Got a few, of course, a lot of members of the Swole fam over at swolenormousx.com. You have a lot of these answers inside and you've been following and watching the show for a while. So it's nice to get a little bit more of those specific questions, those one-on-one concerns that you might have. So appreciate that response. Let's get into some more questions. If you're watching live and you want to follow up, you want to follow up with a previous question. Maybe you asked a question that we got to. Maybe you asked a question on over the weekend and I answered on Sunday and you were in that episode and you want to follow up. Or if you have another question, drop in the comments right now, hashtag #AskPapaSwolio. And we're going to get into some TikTok and Instagram questions. Of course, we'll take some on Rumble and YouTube as they come in. So let's get into the first question.
What's in the box?
From Instagram stories. This one's called, or the screen name is Weightlifting Prop, Papa Swolio. How do I flip that switch in my brain to moderate my sugar intake? How do you flip that switch in your brain to moderate your sugar intake? What are you talking about? Stop eating ultra-processed poison. That's not complicated. That's not complicated. You're not going to flip a switch in your brain. You have to change your habits. So I'm not sure what you're really referring to, as if you're going to have some epiphany, snap your fingers, and all of a sudden, all your habits will be in order. Set good habits. Get rid of the garbage in your house. Focus on meat and fruit. Very simple. Very simple. All right, if you're on TikTok, drop your questions in the comments. We're live on Rumble and YouTube, The Daily Swole. Keith says, shut up. To the person that asked the question. I'll be nice, Keith. Be nice. Aww. All right, Alex Papasolio, what's the best way for getting big? Eat protein, get quality sleep, lift heavy weights, progressively overload. Simple question, lazy question. What's the best way for getting big? Join the Swole fam over at swolenormousx.com.
Hi, puppy.
That's the best way I make some gains. Keith, you can tell him to shut up too. Question from Nick's Digital Art. Papa Swolio. How old were you when you started going to the fucking gym? First time I ever trained was in my friend's basement when I was 13. Started really lifting more consistently at 16, 17 years old. Really got serious when I was, I guess, 17, 18. No, you're not too harsh, Keith. You shouldn't be sorry. Don't apologize. Mr. Chris with a K. Papa Swolio, favorite mace exercises? Swinging it. Swinging the mace. Just swinging the mace, shield casting, inside, outside circles, whatever you want to call them. Those are my favorite exercises. I don't do anything fancy. I don't do like the swing and then a press or any of that kind of stuff. I don't go super heavy with the mace. I usually use it just for warming up, or the clubs warming up for an upper body session. So I just swing the club. I mean, I spin, I'll do I guess I don't really have a favorite movement. Appreciate the question, but just swing that damn thing. Just get better at it. You don't need fancy movements. People just need to master the basics. You can't swing a club for a week and have the swing down. It really does take months and months and months of practice, because you don't realize that your form is a little bit different every swing. It takes time. It takes a lot of time to master the efficiency of the movement. Because if you're fighting the club and you're not allowing the club to move and you're starting too heavy, this is one of the problems. If people start too heavy with the mace, you're going to grip it too tight. That's why you want to start very light and do thousands of reps before you even think about moving up the weight, because you want to teach your body to have a light grip on the club. You have to get a lot stronger to go heavier. You don't want to have a tight grip and be going really heavy and swinging it, because you're going to put a lot of tension on your elbow and your wrist. So you want to make sure that you allow the club or the mace to swing freely, so you can just start very light and really master the efficiency of the movement before you increase. TikTok just got blasted with that. I muted, but that was fantastic. That was absolutely a 10.
I gave it a 10. A 10. A fucking 10.
Jay Classy. Is melatonin a good supplement to take for sleeping issues? Why or why not? I wouldn't fuck with that. I've never fucked with melatonin. I've heard a lot of bad things about it. I've heard some maybe positive things if you have jet lag or you're traveling a lot, but you don't need melatonin. You need to cut out the blue light. You need to stop eating so late before bed. I would recommend like a chamomile tea and some collagen and some magnesium glycinate at night, maybe a little bit of raw honey in the tea. That way you have some sugar through the night for your brain and stuff. It'll keep you more asleep throughout the night. You might not wake up as much. I find I don't. So really sleeping issues have to do with overall nutrition, hydration, right? Electrolytes, proper consistency in the evening, cutting out blue light, cold, dark room. You'll improve your sleeping tremendously. People have a lot of caffeine. You really shouldn't be having caffeine within like 10 hours of going to sleep. So people that are training in the evening, another reason why I don't recommend training in the evening, especially if you're having caffeine and pre-workouts and stuff in the evening, it's going to keep you up late. It's going to negatively affect your sleep or the depth and the quality of your sleep regardless. Even if you're used to doing it, it's going to negatively affect your sleep pattern. So make sure I would avoid that. I definitely don't take it, and I don't recommend anyone taking it. MRI, I have a severe heart condition, so I track my health instead of gains. I lift 3 and 5 pound ankle weights and wrist weights. I very much appreciate the yoga in the app. Well, thank you, Emma. I'm glad you're enjoying it. That's fantastic.
Hi, Papi.
Excellent. Austin Powers. Austin Powers.
You're insane, gold member.
On TikTok, I'm 300 pounds, 5'7". Can I combine cardio with weights? I heard it's not good to do both at the same time. Don't do cardio. Don't do cardio with weights. If you're lifting weights, lift weights for strength. Don't lift weights for cardio, and don't do cardio for weights. If you're doing cardio, do cardio. If you're lifting weights, lift weights. You're going to be compromising your strength. You're going to be compromising your hypertrophy if you're trying to combine the both. You don't get good quality of either. So focus on a specific task and get better at that. If you want to do cardio, do cardio. If you want to lift weights, focus on lifting weights. And weights are very, very important. So if you're overweight, you're obese, you don't have enough muscle mass. If you're skinny, you don't have enough muscle mass. If you're obese, you don't have enough muscle mass. Building muscle, leg strength, upper body strength, absolutely essential. It's better for insulin sensitivity and everything. Yes, you could add cardio after or on different days and get your nutrition and sleep in order, but lifting weights is going to be much more important for you, especially in the short term. Cardio is fantastic. Having cardiovascular capacity is fantastic, and VO2 max, I'm not knocking it, but more people need to lift weights. I posted on X, I think yesterday. People are obsessed about 10,000 steps a day, and they're eating garbage, and they're not sleeping well, and they're not lifting weights. Fuck the steps, man. Go for a walk, enjoy. Getting 10,000 is a very arbitrary number. It's not going to make or break your health. It's great to walk, but lift some fucking weights. People worry about their steps, and they don't take care of any of their 7 pillars. It's like, it's only going to do so much. Walking's fantastic, but lift some weights. Hunter's wife, how much creatine should I be taking? I'm 5'5". Start with 5 grams a day and see how it goes. Everyone can be doing 5 grams a day. If that seems like too much, start with 2.5 or do 2.5 twice a day. I usually do 10 grams in the morning and then 5, maybe around when I work out. So I'll take 15 or 20 grams a day. R. Miller, 1984, Papa Solia, best post-workout drink. That depends. Sometimes I'll eat right after. But usually if after I train, maybe I'll have some coconut water or mix some coconut water with orange juice, something with sugar, some honey. If I'm having a shake or something simple right after I work out, I put some whey protein and collagen in and mix it all together and then just pound it. But you got to figure out what you like. There is no best post-workout or pre-workout. Pre-workout is just what you take before. It could be anything. Post-workout is just what you take after. You don't need a supplement that says post-workout or pre-workout. What's the best pre-workout to take? You might take 2 tablespoons of honey and then go train. So pre-workout is just what you do before you work out, and post-workout is just what you do after your workout. You got to try different things and see what you like best. Some people like to eat food. Some people like to have a shake. It's different things. I am Karan Singrajput. Okay. Skin and hair care tips. Quality ingredients. No parabens, no phthalates, collagen supplementation, beef tallow, jojoba oil. All these things are excellent. Remember, hair, skin, nails, joints, collagen. Get your collagen in. Bone broth is fantastic. Making your own bone broth, buying it pre-made. eating the connective tissues, right? On like strip steaks and ribeyes and the chewy parts of the steaks. And people cut that stuff off, and that's the best part. Make sure you're getting those connective tissues. If you're making your own bone broth, it's great to get those knuckle bones in and the tendons and things like that for collagen and gelatin and stuff. Well, it's collagen. Mark says the step and calories burned is a dumb way to cope. People like to see numbers, and they see that step counter going up and like, ooh, I hit my goal. Yet they're not doing other things that are going to be much more impactful for their health. It's like, sure, you don't have to measure it. Go for a walk. Enjoy. Get a few thousand steps. You don't have to. 10,000 is not a magic number. All right? It's not a magic number. You can walk 20,000. If you love walking, fine. I don't have my phone. I don't have an Apple Watch. I'm not attached to that throughout the day, and I'm walking around a lot in the house. So if I look at my phone, if you have your phone on you, even in airplane mode, it'll track your steps, but I don't have my phone in my pocket all the time. So I'm walking around and moving around the property a lot. So it doesn't track all my steps, but as long as you're moving, going for walks, taking care of yourself, getting sun, there's a lot of things that are really important. Yesterday you said cardio wasn't in the mix, LOL. Today you're talking about it. Am I talking about cardio? I'm talking about lifting weights. I'm saying the same thing I did yesterday. Why would it be in the mix, or why would it not be in the mix? What are you trying to accomplish? It's all in context. I'm talking about not obsessing over 10,000 steps a day, so lifting weights is cardio, bruh. It's definitely not. You'll get some cardiovascular adaptations, but you shouldn't be lifting for cardio, right? You're lifting and then you should be recovering. Your heart rate shouldn't be elevated and out of breath before you do your next set. You should be resting a few minutes. Doug Paul, Papa Solio, are vacuums good to practice for abdominals in addition to regular work? Sure. We have all that in our yoga classes, because if you do yoga, you're drawing in and you're activating the transverse abdominis, et cetera, et cetera. So you could definitely practice vacuums in conjunction with your yoga. Shan, Papa Soli, investment suggestions. Study Bitcoin. Check out a couple good books. Let's see, the new one, The Big Print by Lawrence Lepard. Let's see, The Bitcoin Standard by Safety and Amuse. Good ones. Price of Tomorrow by Jeff Booth. Those are some good books to start with. Study Bitcoin and then make your choices based on your conviction and understanding. If you study Bitcoin, you'll learn about everything in the world: philosophy, international relations, monetary policy, fiscal policy. You'll learn about all that stuff. So you have to go down the rabbit hole and put in the effort, but that's the best place to start. You ask me, so I'm telling you. Not financial advice, just good advice. All right. Oh, that's the last one from Instagram. Okay, last chance for questions. Drop in the comments down below. Hashtag Ask Papa Swolio, and we will keep on keeping on. After we sign off from TikTok, we're going to continue on Rumble and YouTube at The Daily Swole. So if you go to the merch page, link is in bio, subscribe, follow, papasolio.com. This is the My Swole Pony. Today I'm rocking the My Swole Pony. Buy one, get one 50% off over at papasolio.com. And all the links for the podcast and app and memberships and programs and stuff, and everything's over there also in the menu. Drop in the comments or topics. Maybe you don't have a question. Maybe you have a topic you want to bring up. That's still a question. Bear Dude 822. Should I go to trade school? Much better option than university or college. So a lot of good trades. You guys can learn how to use AI, how to program and do stuff and leverage the future of technology. Highly recommended. But of course, plumbing, electrical, HVAC, all those things are always going to be needed. Giannis Bozatzis. Coach, I am going to the gym for 3 months and seeing zero progress. What should I do? Well, you're not going to see a lot of progress in the first couple of months. You should see a lot of strength improvements, but your body is just getting used to the stimulus. So if you're not in a good training program, you're not going to make progress also. So it could be your training program. If you're interested, check us out at swolenormousx.com. The 90-day dash or maximum swole would be great for you. We plumbers are too simple for AI. Well, I mean, look, you're not going to, that's the thing. AI and this kind of technology might help with plumbing, in the near future. Maybe you're able to analyze a situation X, Y, and Z, but it's really just pipes, right? And a lot of houses that are 60, 70, 80 years old, you're still going to have to get in there in those cast iron pipes and get in there and pump shit out. And you're not going to have a robot go. I mean, you might have some tools that are able to better technology to actually physically get in there, but you're still going to have people on call to come out and fix shit. So these things are always useful, especially things like air conditioning. Man, you go to Florida or go to some of these Arizona or places where air conditioning is required. You need it to live with a quality life, because in Florida, if you don't have AC, you're dying. So these things are going to be always useful. Mark says, I know someone who went to trade school, got injured, and the doctor said that his surgery fucked up. Luckily, he got it fixed and is bringing up a malpractice lawsuit. That's true. Joe says it can help with marketing for your plumbing business to get you more work. Sure, you could use AI and target audiences and stuff on Facebook and Instagram and TikTok ads and stuff like that, and Google and AdSense and target search in your area. You can use that. I mean, that's beneficial for anyone, but you start filming or creating social media content for you doing your job and just analyzing, right? You're under the pipes, and you're just showing people what you do. You just build authority. And if you target people locally, they might pop up to someone, hey, I need a plumber. Let me message this guy. He seems cool. High taxes, no incentive. Hey, Daily Swole. Why do you think Canada re-elected such a bad government? Well, I think it's because of just the country. Why is the United States, why are we the ones that are voting against tyranny? Why do we re-elect Trump? And why is that as a country very supportive? You're not going to see this in the mainstream media because they want to make it seem like everyone hates Trump, which is not true. Got the popular vote and destroyed in the Electoral College. And because our country was founded on get the fuck off our lawn. That's how our country was founded. Fuck your taxes. Fuck your government from 2,000-3,000 miles away. We're doing our own thing. So when your country is founded upon go fuck yourself, it's a whole different generational mindset. And Canada is not founded on that. The United States is the only country that is. So, and just remember the election system in this country was severely broken in 2020. The Democrats manipulated, cheating, just a lot of garbage. And we know that's true. The evidence is there, and got rectified in 2024 because people came out in big numbers and voted against tyranny. And just Canada, I'm sure you have a lot of holes in your election system also. Can only imagine, because you don't have the scrutiny that we have here in the United States. Don't forget, Canada, you're just it's a byproduct of the UK. You have these countries that are thousands and thousands of years of taking orders and saying yes and doing as you're told. Society is built on doing as you're told. So without that, you're afraid. People get scared. Like, I need to be told what to do. I don't want to say anything because other people around me might disagree, and I'm just going to say what everyone else probably wants me to say. And it's not founded on the same principles as the United States, unfortunately. But Canada no longer is viable for our 51st state. We don't want you anymore. We changed our mind. Maybe Alberta. I hear Alberta is pissed off. I've been seeing on X, Alberta is pissed off and they want to secede. So maybe we'll take Alberta. Everyone else, you can stay. You can stay. Bye, Robert. I don't give a fuck. Lost a follower. Dude, I got like 9 million. I don't need one more. I don't need you. Peace out. Just go. Unfollow. I don't need you. It's not an airport. You don't have to announce your departure. I don't care. Go. But they're going to stay in the chat and keep on being like, I'm leaving. You lost me. I'm leaving. The fuck out. Go. Shirts from the website, papasway.com. Snow Mexicans. I love that. So funny. Bear dude, go. You don't care my political views. Get the fuck out. Get out. I'm just going to mute all these people. Get the fuck out. You must be new. You must be new to the page or new to my content if you think I care whether or not you agree with me or not. You don't have to. I'm not asking you to, but I don't need to hear about it. Just go. If you don't like it, go. 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 I don't know how I'm going to survive. Look, it's objective. It's a sad day for Canada. There's no doubt about it. There's no doubt about it. So it's unfortunate. We have a lot of Canadians over here in Rumble and YouTube, and everyone agrees. So whatever. It's not my country, so I don't really. It doesn't really matter. It's unfortunate. It's unfortunate. I love Canadians. Canada's a hot mess, but the Canadians are great. I love me some Canadians. All right. Last chance for questions. Drop in the comments. Yes, it is. I love that meme, though. Alex says we need North Dakota. What was it? The meme? Babylon B posted on X, I think, yesterday. We're going to annex Canada and call it Gay North Dakota or something. It's so funny. But it's hockey playoffs, so we like Canada because hockey playoffs are the shit. We will live. We will survive. But we wish you all the best. Hey, I'm sure the whole world thought that when people elected half-dead Joe Biden in 2020. I'm sure the whole world was like, how could you do that? I agree. High taxes, no incentive. I like the screen name, though. What do you think the U.S. will do if Canada switches to China as their main ally and trading partner? Can the U.S. allow a Chinese satellite state on their border? What will they'll do? I don't think that's going to work out for Canada. I don't think that'll work out. We'll have to see. What I don't know what the policies are or what anyone has said about that. Everyone's connected to China. We get a lot of our stuff manufactured in China. That's why people are losing their shit about tariffs. Certain products are going to be more expensive. But most people don't understand the long-term implications. These are long-term. These are short-term pain for long-term gratification. What do we talk about all the time? Fitness. It's the same thing. You're going to train today. You're going to build muscle today? No. How long does it take to build muscle? Months and years. So why do you think, what makes this anything different? Some of these fundamental policy changes aren't going to turn around overnight. There's going to be some more short-term pain. It's only 3 months into this new presidency. So there's a lot of things that are still yet to come to pass. There might be some more pain coming based on when tariffs kick in, blah, blah, blah. Usually these things, when it comes to, international, like shipping and stuff, there's like a whip effect. You make some changes, 1, 2, 3, same thing with shutting down and locking down the country and locking down the world for a year or so. There's a whip effect in terms of inflation or when these things hit the shelves or when these things hit your pocket. When you see the prices go up, it's not immediate. So some of these things have yet to pass, but they're negotiation tactics, and these things are being implemented for long-term flourishing for the United States. It needs to incentivize creation and production in this country. That's what these tariffs are for. And if there are products that we don't create here, then there's not going to be tariffs on there or limited. So if there's something that we need to source from another country that we do not produce here, there's no sense in having a tariff. So it's not just a blanket tariff on a country. There's certain products that will or will not have tariffs. Just most people don't look into these things. It's not really complicated. In other words, this is incentivizing production and manufacturing to return to the United States. And of course, it doesn't happen overnight. You don't just create car factories and semiconductor factories overnight. These things take years for these foundries to get created because it's very technical, very specific, and costs a lot of money to invest in these manufacturing plants to get them up and running. So it does take it'll take few to several years. This is the problem. People are impatient. They want things now. Everything's not changing immediately. Dude, you had the Biden administration burning this country to the ground for 4 years. It's much easier to burn shit down than it is to build it up. If you're trying to build a house it might take a while, or build a sports stadium. It's very easy to tear it down and bring some wrecking balls in and just demolish it. So it's easy to break things down and to destroy than it is to build and create. And that's why it's so much harder and it takes so much longer to kind of slow the momentum one direction, turn around and promote. But here's the thing. I think Canada should be putting Canada first. Based on this election, it doesn't seem like they are. And unfortunately, a lot of times people vote against their own best interest because of what the media tells them, or they're afraid, or they don't have their own sovereignty. If you're suckling off the state, of course you're going to vote for the state. You're going to vote for the government because you're not a sovereign citizen. And most people in the United States aren't sovereign citizens, and it's just unfortunate. People need more independence. This is why, with the lockdowns, it was so aggressive against small businesses, because when you have a small business, you're more sovereign, you're more independent. And that's why government always tries to destroy small business, because it takes away, or it demands that the populace depend on the government for handouts and for X, Y, and Z, for everything. How do I feel about the Second Amendment? Second Amendment protects the First. It's not just important, it's essential. Trent, what's the best workout routine for a male over age 50? A body part a day or full body? Thanks. Upper, lower, or full body? I'm going to be 42 in a couple months, and I do full body and upper, lower. Sheena, you'd be surprised just how much U.S. land China owns that's close to our military bases. All over. Farmland and military bases. I think the Trump administration should reappropriate. I don't think any other country should own. I think that's insane. No country should own land in the United States. That's ludicrous. It's just ludicrous. No other country should own land in the United States. Absolutely, absolutely not. Let's see. Kobe, is there any hip workouts that work on the hip and legs? There's a lot of hip workouts. Absolutely. I don't really. I joke about the 51st state. I don't really care if Canada's the 51st state. They kind of are, whether it's official or not. But apparently with the way they're voting, we don't need a 51st state voting like that. Not now. We'll wait till Canada comes around. And a lot of times things have to really get bad before they get better. And like I said, this country, the United States, is founded upon go fuck yourself. We won't do what you tell us. We're not going to pay those taxes. We're not going to do that. We're going to start our own country. When your country is founded upon that, even if it was hundreds of years ago, you have generations of people that are independent and freedom minded. And we have the Bill of Rights, and we have the ability to speak our mind and defend ourselves with firearms against a tyrannical government. So we have the ability to back it up. That's why people can say things. And that's why this country is so much like, no, we're going to change. What are you going to do about it? It's very important. It's very important. Top exercise to build glutes. Elevated step back lunges, hip bridges, stiff leg deadlifts, RDLs, 45-degree hypers with a dumbbell or with bands, abductor machine, leaning forward, high foot placement on leg presses or hack squats. Papa Swole, do you speak Spanish? Can you send greetings to Costa Rica? Costa Rica.
Hi, Papi.
Is this Ricardo? What's the guy's name from Costa Rica that sent that sultry message that called into the show? What was his name? Roberto, right? Not Ricardo. Could you explain full body and upper lower? Upper means upper body exercise. Lower means lower body exercise. Full body means a little bit of both. Full body, you can get some more frequency. You could train every other day. You could train every 2 days too. But full body just means you're doing a blend of upper and lower body exercises. By the way, if you're interested in programming, if you're interested in these types of splits, Maximum Swole is one of our programs in the Swolenormous app. If you go to papaswole.com, it's the only link in my bio on TikTok. You can see all the links for merch. as well as the app and memberships and programs and stuff like that. So it's all in the main menu on the website. All right, let's go balls deep. Fam, thanks for watching on TikTok. We're going to continue on Rumble and YouTube. Appreciate you. Subscribe, like, join the Swole fam. I love it when people on a live stream like feel the need to announce that like they don't agree with me. It's like, cool. You don't have to. This is my show, so I'm going to say what I want. Because I'm an American. I'm dug in, and I'll never change.
Smooth. Very, very smooth stuff. Very classy.
If you get
I'm
that
learning
reference.
a lot from you right now, dude.
We could be friends. Okie dokie. Let's get into some balls deep. We'll take some more questions that come in. That's deep. Roberto hath returned. Roberto. He's trying to seduce me. Bring me to Costa Rica. All right. So this is something that's been going around that Pepsi says it's going to replace artificial. I'll bring this up. I posted about it recently, but I'll just bring up this picture because RFK is in the image. PepsiCo says it is rushing to replace artificial colors with natural ingredients across all its brands, including Doritos, Lay's, Cheetos, following RFK Jr.'s ban on dyes. Well, I'm not getting too excited yet. And I'll tell you why. I think it's great. I think the psychology or the mindset behind this is very important. But I want to know what they're replacing it with. Just because it's a natural ingredient. I'm telling you, let's not assume that it's going to be something that you want to consume. All right? There's still really no reason to be consuming any of these drinks or garbage. It's still shit. Like, you shouldn't be touching this. So I'm not getting excited about this. I think it's the right direction, but I want to know what they're planning on replacing it with. Because there's a lot of natural, right? You can say a lot of things are natural ingredients within the law. So I want to know what they're actually replacing it with. Just because it's being replaced doesn't mean it's not going to be something that's also garbage. Okay. So I'm not getting too excited. I think it's great, but I want to see what actually happens versus just being like, oh, they're going to ban this. Cool. There still could be a lot of other shit. Plus, you still don't want to eat it. It's still garbage. It's still garbage. So what else are they going to, they're not going to change the color. People aren't just going to eat bland. It's going to taste the same, but it doesn't look the same. They're still going to be adding a lot of shit. So who knows what the fuck is going to happen. So I'm not getting too excited about that. Don't eat it. Avoid it. I thought this was hilarious. Okay. No one knows who this guy is. This is an SNL skit. This is like what that Democrat congressperson that no one knows that's like created articles of impeachment against Trump. Just watch the first few seconds of this. It's got to be an SNL skit. The background, the guy, this looks like a complete joke because it is. It's hilarious.
This is Congressman Shri Thanedar. Donald Trump has already done real damage to our democracy, but defying a unanimous 9-0 Supreme Court ruling, that has to be the final straw. It's time we impeach Donald J. Trump. The court said
we need to replace Donald J. Trump. This is against our democracy. This is a shame for our democracy. Donald J. Trump is in the office. He's so dangerous for our democracy. Yes, I am making fun of the accent because that's what I do. I love accents. I think it's funny. But just this whole setup is hilarious. This has to be a skit.
The deported Kilmer Garcia must be allowed to return and receive due process.
We must bring back an MS-13 gang member to the United States. We must allow these people to rape and pillage our country. Bro.
Trump ignored it. He ignored the Constitution. He ignored the very checks and balances that keep our democracy intact.
He did none of those things. This guy's not a citizen. He's a criminal, and he is sent back to the country of origin. So there's no problem here.
This isn't an isolated incident. It's part of a dangerous, deliberate pattern that...
Oh, a dangerous, deliberate pattern. A dangerous pattern of making America great again and getting rid of illegal criminals in our country. It's so dangerous. It's so dangerous to get rid of criminals that illegally broke into our country.
That's why today I introduced a resolution to impeach Donald J. Trump.
Oh, yes. Very nice. Okay, I'm going to keep on. It's fun as shit.
Matt Damon.
Okie dokie. Anyway, what do you guys think that for, let's go back to the Doritos thing. What do you guys think they're going to replace these ingredients with? So getting rid of what? Red 40, blue 1, some of these dyes. I don't know if it's all of them, but I know it's some of them. So what are they replacing? What are they replacing it with? Does anyone know? Let's see. Reportedly going to be removing artificial colors and flavors and switching to all natural ingredients. All natural ingredients. Yeah, I don't buy it. Okie dokie. I think it's going to be, don't forget, just because they add something else doesn't mean it's not actually worse for you. Who knows? Who knows what they're going to be allowed to add or where they're going to get it from or what it's going to look like. And here's the thing, when you're doing it at mass scale, and it's still going to be ultra processed. So the quality control is going to be in the gutter, and they're going to try to do something that's going to maximize the yield for such an incredible volume. Gross, in my opinion. It's going to be, I don't know. Still, don't eat it. Maybe vegan tears. Oh. Yeah.
Well, I
get
could
some
be
vegan
wrong,
tears in there. Why not?
But I believe diversity is an old wooden ship that was used during the Civil War era.
Alex says, seriously, what's the point of these food dyes? How does a white marshmallow have fucking blue 1? It's a great question. Anything to get you hooked on it. Remember, they want you to buy it and they want you to buy more. And they want you to have like these compulsions. It's literally addictions. They want you to walk by and be like, and your mouth just starts salivating. Okay. If you have a dog and they're trained like with treats and you take one out, they're going to start salivating, right? Pavlov dog, right? You ring the bell every time you feed your dog, you're going to ring the bell and they know food's coming. It's the same thing. You smell the toxic garbage that they're pumping out of McDonald's and Burger King. You see something on a shelf and it just like triggers all these like dopamine response. All right, let's get into some videos. Let's see. We have a short one to start with. Not really. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3. I'll let you guys figure this one out. Pick a number 1, 2, or 3.
What's in the box?
Now, once you've had sex with the woman, she will naturally start to depend on you, okay? All women do this.
All right, positive charisma is going number 3. This is called What is Health? What is health?
On my last video were like, I didn't want to get weight loss surgery just because I didn't want to deal with fat phobia. It's because I wanted to get healthy. And here's my follow-up question. What does healthy mean? Truly, what does healthy mean? And
is her hair 2 different colors? Yes, it is.
It's different for all of us, but I think the problem is that everybody keeps thinking that healthy has a universal definition and it's applying it to everybody all around us. That needs to be looked at and understood to say like, your healthy might be entirely different than my health. And also a hot take that I've been saying for years and lots.
Your health might be completely different than my health. I don't think you understand what that word means.
You keep using the word. I don't think it means what you think it means.
And if you're morbidly obese, wearing something that makes you look like a Saharan animal, like a leopard print, if you're morbidly obese, is not a good look.
People have been saying health is not guaranteed. It is not something that everybody can have. So somebody who's chronically ill, disabled, whatever it might be.
Someone that's chronically ill and doesn't have good habits, they might not be healthy. Well, if they had healthier habits, they would, okay, it's too easy.
Will not be seen as healthy. Therefore, are they not allowed to like have a wonderful life without harm?
What are you talking? God, fucking retarded.
Is it that they should do anything absolutely possible to become healthy, even though they'll be chasing the health marker and the health marker will continue to move?
If they're disabled, like they can't walk, it's not like they start eating steak, they're going to be able to walk magically again. If that's what you're saying.
So I don't know why we're sitting here like the only thing you need to have and the best thing that you can have is your health.
Pretty much. That's pretty much all you have. Or you don't have. That's pretty much it.
Because what does that mean? How many of you are sleeping 8 hours a night? How
Me?
many of you are waking up and having breakfast? How
Me?
many of you are drinking as much water as you're supposed to be drinking?
Me?
So we are not living in the same world where like fascism is tearing us all apart.
Fascism is not tearing anyone apart. Again, you don't know what that word means, obviously.
So many people in my last video were like, I didn't want to get weight loss surgery just because I didn't want to deal with fat phobia. It's because I wanted to get healthy. And here's my follow-up question.
Yeah, weight loss surgery doesn't help you get healthy. That's kind of a detour around proper lifestyle habits.
What does healthy mean? Truly, what does healthy mean? And it's different for all of us, but I think the problem is that everybody keeps thinking that healthy has a universal definition and it's applying it to everybody all around us. That needs to be looked at and understood to say like, your healthy might be entirely different than my health. And also a hot take that I've been saying for years and lots of people have been saying, health is not guaranteed. It is not something that everybody can have. So
what are you talking about? See, using a vague term like health. That's the only reason why she's able to say stupid shit like that. Again, it's a deconstruction of language. It's the 2 + 2 doesn't necessarily equal 4. Not everyone can add. Some people it's 5. No, health is pretty objective. We're going to find out in the next 20 years who's actually fucking healthy. That's for damn sure.
somebody who's chronically ill, disabled, whatever it might be,
It's the same
will
video?
not be seen as healthy. Therefore, are they not allowed to like have a wonderful life without harm?
Does this
Is
go
it that
back?
they should do anything absolutely possible to become healthy, even though they'll be chasing the health marker and the
Did I accidentally rewind it to be drinking? Are we not in the same races and fog? Okay, I replayed. Okay, sorry. Sorry, I gave you guys a little extra that you needed.
Damn.
Okay, let's move on from that.
What you just said is one of the most insanely idiotic things I have ever heard. At no point in your rambling, incoherent response were you even close to anything that could be considered a rational thought. Everyone in this room is now dumber for having listened to it. I award you no points, and may God have mercy on your soul.
Now, some of you might be saying like, well, I don't like, we've had people, I don't like this part of the show. I don't like watching these videos or giving them attention. This is the mind virus that these are like the small minority of lunatics that voice this stuff online. But do not underestimate how many people around you go along with this shit. We just saw it from Canada. All right. It's the same kind of like woke victim mindset. This is just deconstructionist garbage. Okay. You do want to pursue health. You do want to improve your status. If you're disabled, what does that mean? Right? Very vague term. Are you a quadriplegic? Can you not move your arms and legs? Eating steak is not going to help you all of a sudden have movement of your arms and legs again. Maybe Elon Musk's, Neuralink can improve this kind of stuff. Fine. But usually, look, the gut, having a mental disorder, it's issues with the gut and inflammation that's showing up in the brain. If you have a skin condition, it's gut issues that are showing up in the skin. If you have joint issues, a lot of times it's gut issues that are showing up in the joints. Okay. If you have brain fog and bloating, it's a gut issue that's manifesting in these manners. Different foods and different things are going to, lead to those things. So this person is trying to justify never changing. Everyone else is meanie. The words that people say hurt my feelings. And she's just trying to discount reality in order to justify her morbid existence and that she's under attack. It's just, you're not under attack. It's called gravity. Just chill the fuck out. All right. Let's, one of these videos is called Don't Get Mad at Me. So we'll do that one last because I probably will get mad. This one's called Healthy at Any Size, which is obviously a train wreck. If you have any questions, drop in the comments down below.
Oh, I absolutely subscribe to the health at any size philosophy. I don't subscribe to the health at every size philosophy. You can be a healthy person living a healthy lifestyle and be any size. But not every size is necessarily healthy for you. You can be an unhealthy person at any size as well. I am objectively healthier now than I was 3 years ago. I drink less, I'm more mentally and emotionally healthy. I eat a lot healthier, I work out more, and I lift now. But I'm also heavier now than I was then. Kind of annoying, but it must be a healthy size for me because I'm living a healthy lifestyle and this size. I know.
So, oh God, I don't like that. But anyway, I don't disagree with everything she was saying, but I weigh more now. Look, most people, again, I don't know what she's eating. I guarantee her bathroom is tons of toxic stuff, right? Phthalates, parabens, all these, she's probably not eating ideally. If she's actually more and you're building muscle, sure. But a lot of women put on a lot of fat and water weight. So people that say that they eat healthy, I'm eating a lot healthier than I did. Okay, I don't know. That doesn't mean anything to me. I appreciate that you think you're eating healthy or you're doing better and you're exercising, sure. But we know that people generally don't exercise properly. They generally don't sleep properly. They generally don't eat healthy, especially when they say they do. Because people check it off like, all right, I'm trying. That means I'm eating healthy. That's not what it means.
I'm being healthy and when I'm not being healthy. And my body size might fluctuate to reflect that. But when you're healthy, you're probably going to be more attractive to people. Like no
True.
men seem to mind that I've gained 30 pounds. I swear they find me hot.
Gained 30 pounds? Holy shit, that's fat. Maybe she was anorexic, so, I mean, maybe she had 30 pounds to gain, but she looks thick.
Now than they did then. A good example of this is my sister and I. My sister is like 100 pounds soaking wet. She's always been thin, she wears size 0 jeans, probably like 60 pounds heavier than her. But we both live similarly healthy lifestyles. She personally could not be my weight without living extremely unhealthily. And I could not be her weight without living extremely unhealthily. And
anytime people say this, I'd love to look at their nutrition and their lifestyle habits and all these things because I'm just very, very certain, especially when looking and I see people retaining a lot of water and they look bloated and they look thick and I can just tell like they're not eating ideally. I guarantee. Like she sounds like she smokes a couple packs a day, but that could just be coincidence.
Starving myself. I understand everybody wants to look different ways, but when it comes to attracting others, what you really got to focus on is health. I know every influencer is like, work on feeling healthy, and they never mean it. They mean skinny. I'm influenced by culture too. I wish I was skinnier. The truth is, when it comes to like attracting mates, being healthy is king. Culture isn't impacted by our biological preferences. If you are healthy, you will be attractive enough. And for some people, that will naturally be heavier, thicker, and huskier. And for some, it will be more slim and petite. Just focus on health, and you will be fine.
I don't disagree with all this, but the vague, just focus on health. Again, here's the thing. Just focus on health. That's not good advice. There's nothing actually applicable there. Focus on health. What does that mean? Focus on fitness. Get in shape. It doesn't mean anything. It's a vague term. A lot of people, how many times do people say, like, I'm eating healthy? And they tell me, I mean, all the time. That's why when someone says, I'm eating clean, I'm like, what does that mean? Or I'm eating healthy. What does that mean? So you have to actually look at the details because healthy, if you ask everyone, like, what's healthy? You're going to get a vast variety of answers. So yeah, it's a little bit of a cope. Like if you're just trying, you're great. Some people are going to be fat and healthy. Some people are going to be skinny and healthy. Yeah, genetics can play a role, but usually it's your habits. And just saying from what I saw in the video, she's retaining a lot of water and bloating and fat, and she doesn't have to be that size. It's because of her nutrition and her habits. And I don't have that information, but that's just my trained eye because I've been looking at bullshit for decades. Okay. Let's get one more video. This one's called Don't Get Mad at Me. Don't tell me what to do. I'm ready to get mad.
Don't get mad at me when I tell you this, but your before
Jesus
and after
Christ.
will not save you from being fat again. I think the rise of Ozempic has made everyone so brazen and bold to talk about weight loss
Ricky Lake looking rough.
in such a fatphobic way. Listen, personally, I don't think it's my...
Why would you do this angle? You're just listening. You can't see this. You're morbidly obese and you're at the bottom of the screen. I'm going to move the bottom bar so you guys can get the full... Like, what is that? Like, what's going on here? What's going on?
What the fuck is that?
Come on, fam. How can I take you seriously? Jesus Christ.
business, nor do I care what you do with your body and if you lose or you gain weight. But I think posting about it is damaging for you and for the people who are looking at it. I try to understand why, and then I try to put myself in your
It's not dangerous for anyone. Here's the thing. Women are much more susceptible to social pressure. So if you're watching, again, you don't need to be on social media. You got to get off the phone. You got to get off these social media apps. Use it for business, use it tactfully, use it for the Swole fam, use it for a couple podcasts you listen to. Get off the endless comparisons and scrolling. Okay. This is what happens. We have a feminized society and a masculine society, and they're clashing online. You have a lot of dudes that don't give a fuck, people that grew up with Halo chat rooms. I'm telling you, grew up with the internet, and you can't offend us online. I'm one of them. And then you have a lot of women that are online like, oh my God, people are so mean. Oh my God, how can you say that? And everyone has a voice now, even the mentally insane people. So it's not that the country is more insane. It's just that more fucking people are voicing garbage opinions, and there's a lot of noise.
And when I look at it from the grand scheme of things, from the big general perspective, it makes sense. Of course you want to post your before and after photo. Many see it as a notable accomplishment. So of course you're supposed to.
It is. You change your life and all of a sudden you're not fat. And fat people hate to see that. Why do fat people hate to see before and afters? Not everyone. Some of you guys get inspired. You should be. But if a fat person sees a before and after, they get jealous, especially a woman. Right? They see it as competition. Oh my God, she did it. Women are so nasty to each other. And we have to talk more about that. Women will tear the shit up out of each other. Women don't want to see other women succeeding.
About your weight loss. It makes sense, right? And I don't blame you. I think that wanting to be part of this fitness club is something that society is pushing us all into. And then
a fitness club? Jesus Christ, look at your fucking face.
God damn it, I don't know what it is
fitness
about your
club,
face,
taking care of your
I
health.
want to deliver one of these right in your suck hole.
Is there anything I can do to work on that?
No, not really.
Imagine hating on someone's before and after. Now, if someone's posting fake before and afters and Photoshop, it's like, yeah, you're just lying. But someone showing your success is not a marker of you being a shitty person. That's how a lot of these people internalize. Oh my God, those are fat phobic. Oh my God, it makes me feel bad. Well, that's your fucking problem. Why? Why are you such a broken person?
To be that maybe one of the reasons that you post this is to inspire other fat people to lose weight.
Yeah, no shit. No fucking shit. Okay. Yes, Ellie says weak-minded women are like that. 100%. And this is not across the board for women, but the vast majority, for sure.
But then that's where you lose me, because I thought this whole process was for you. I don't know what the point of posting it is. We can see it.
You're proud. You're proud of your progress, and you're sharing it. And everyone else, if you're watching it, oh my God, that person's so much better than me. I hate her. That's a you problem. That's a you problem. I can't offend you. If you get offended, that's your problem. You're just a weak person.
You have gotten into a smaller body now. What ends up happening and what you're showcasing is that you went from being the oppressed to being the oppressor. And you're...
That's not what you're... You start eating steak and eggs and lifting weights, and now you're an oppressor. Yeah. Yeah. You know what you are, lady? You're an oppressor to the earth. The earth would like a little bit more weight off its back. You worry about climate change, I'm sure. The climate's changing. Well, how do you feel about just punishing the earth's crust? How do you think the earth feels about it? The earth is like, get off, get the fuck off me. Why do you have to be pulling into the earth so hard? Give gravity a break, save some for the rest of us.
Okay with that. Now here's the kicker. Statistically, proven by science, not by me, so don't get mad at me.
Oh, this is proven. Let's see what science has proven. Science is always right. Science just proves things. No, it doesn't. It shows correlations. It might show some causation in some cases, but things are theories, right? The theory of gravity. We have theories that hold true until they're disproven, right? You test hypotheses. That's what science is. So let's see what bullshit you're saying now.
You will gain the weight back in 2 to 5 years.
If you change your shitty fucking habits. If you go back to eating garbage, yeah, you're going to get fat again. What the fuck are you talking about? Hey, I did really good for a couple years, then I stopped and I gained the weight back. Oh my God, you don't say. Oh, you don't say. Oh. I stopped punching myself in the dick and then the pain went away. My balls don't hurt anymore. And then I started punching myself in the dick 2 years later and now my dick is all swollen again. Damn. What happened? Shit.
Now, I've met a lot of friends who have gotten multiple surgeries and have done things to lose weight. And I met them years ago, and now they're back to their original weight, or some of them are probably a little bit even bigger than they were before.
No shit, because they did surgery and took fucking drugs and crash diets and stuff that doesn't work. If you do stupid shit, you're going to get stupid results. So not surprising that you and your fat friends made terrible decisions and you're still fat because you keep on making terrible decisions. Ah, my God. Look, if you're obese and you're trying to change yourself, we're here to help. I'm never going to shit on someone for trying to change your health and trying to improve yourself. That's why we have Soul Enormous X. That's why I'm here for 3,280 fucking episodes. But if you're just trying to justify that everyone is wrong and that you're just going to gain the weight back, don't even try. Like, you are just pushing buttons. So don't get mad at me. I'm not mad at you. I mean, your education and your knowledge and your experience is just garbage. You surround yourself with fat, lazy people, you're going to be only exposed to fat, lazy people and get offended at someone's making progress. That's a huge problem with the victim mindset. Anyone making progress is a personal attack on you, but it's not. They are proud of themselves. They're showing their progress. And they're showing it because they didn't think probably they can do it. They made all these changes and man, it does work. Here, look, I'm so successful. And everyone else is like, oh my God, you're fat phobic. Oh my God, you lost weight. Did you hate yourself? Oh my God, everyone thinks she's so good looking now, that fucking bitch. These people are just pathetic. Absolutely pathetic. Let's do a throwback. 1,000% high taxes says you can tell a lot about someone's character by whether they respond positively or negatively to seeing someone else being successful. Bingo. It should be an inspiration. If someone was really unhealthy and they're always morbidly obese and they made these changes and wow, I lost 200 pounds. You should be like, that's fucking awesome. I need to lose weight. Like, what'd you do? And then you copy them and then you get amazing results. That's what it should be. It should be inspiring. A lot of you have done that. You join the Swole fam and you make these changes. You start eating better. But look, you are going to be, I don't want to say an outcast, but most people around you don't care. You guys know that. That's why we're here. Tell me, what's your experience in your personal lives? Let's get into that a little bit. You guys know you bring food over to a family's house. Oh my God, you're doing this. You get shit on by your family or they give you crap or your friends don't want to go to the gym. They just want you to go. You know, they're pulling you in the other directions. You have to remove yourself from the toxic circles that you're in. Most people, unfortunately, take that as a personal attack. You're getting better and you're changing, which to them is a personal attack because they see that reflection. They know that they're fat. They don't want to change and it scares them. And then they tease you or they chide you or they get pissed off because, well, you're losing weight. That means you hate me. It's like, no, I just don't want to feel like shit anymore and go hunting for size 48 pants. You know, you're changing your life. They don't want to change. So they take it as a personal attack, which is nonsense. It should be something inspiring. They should be asking you like, hey, how do you do it? Let's do it together. But they're not. Some of you might have a good experience, but most people are just, you're not going to be lonely. Alone and lonely are two different things, but you're going to be forging your own path. And that's why it's important to surround yourself with better people. And unfortunately, you're the minority. Most people in this country are fat and obese. And we know that it's like 70, 80%. You know, we saw that during 2021 and 2022, all the people that just went along and just got all these experimental injections and stay inside. They're triple masking still. Their brains are broken. They're eating garbage. They're constantly riddled with fear and anxiety. They just don't have any sovereignty. They don't have any independence in their own mind. They can't think critically for themselves. So you have to surround yourself with people that can and that do. Drop your thoughts. Mark, I'm the weird one for it, wanting crap, setting a sleep and training schedule and eating the same thing daily, but yet they crap on their health daily. Mark says, community of one was one of the best things I learned from listening to Papa. I appreciate that. Look, you have to be and it doesn't mean you're not going to have friends, or you're not going to have like associates, but it's going to be a small group of people. It's generally going to be a small group of people that are going to be supportive of you. And you have to surround yourself with those people. And the voice inside your head and you need to be your own best friend and need to have your own, and most people are their own worst enemy. Read The War of Art. Most people just throw roadblocks in their way and allow it to overtake their life and then complain about it. Or you can take control of your life, be your own community of one, and then expand from there. And if you're going to the gym, if you're going to like social functions where people are eating healthy, if you're going to like, hey, there's a bacon 5K and you're going to support a local business or something and you're meeting people that are eating bacon and going for a run, hey, everyone's out there being healthy, you're going to meet people that have similar mindsets. And fortunately, we have the internet where you can meet people and associate with that kind of mentality. And it doesn't have to be in your immediate circle because unfortunately, a lot of times it's not. Oh my goth fitness. That's a pretty cool name. I like your avatar too. That's pretty dope. Yeah, it's always the quote, just treat yourself, moderation. But they quote, moderate daily. And I'm like, nah, if I want your results, I'll take your advice. No thanks. That's huge too. How often are you going to have someone who's morbidly obese trying to tell you about proper nutrition, or they're going to disagree with you? Like, what are you talking about? Do you want to get muscle building advice from someone who's skinny? Do you want to get weight loss or fat loss advice from someone who's morbidly obese? You might want to get fat loss advice from someone who's morbidly obese or was and lost 200 pounds. That's a good person to get advice from. What'd you do? Why not? They did it. Get information from people that have been successful. It's not that complicated. Bumble Hunter, Easter dinner, my gal and I brought steak. We've been bringing our own food to family dinner for a year now, and now it's expected. That's what I do. If we go somewhere, we're bringing ribeye and steak, and people are usually looking at our meal like, oh, that looks so good. Like, wow, you brought steak? And people are eating like finger food and carrots and shit. Like, we bring meat and we eat it ourselves. We'll go to a social event, but we're going to bring our own food and have good nutrition. And usually people are like eyeballing it like, that looks good. Damn right it is. Cerny says, people in my family tried to give me shit at first, but I shut that shit down in no time. Guess who's feeling better than any of them? And look, you have to lead by example, because after, and again, here's the issue. When you have family or friends or people that have known you for 20, 30 years and you used to go out drinking with them or eating crap, they remember that person and they're kind of like subconsciously trying to bring you back to that level. So once they really understand that this is what you're doing, this is who you are, this is your identity, they usually back off, or you've already cut them off or distanced yourself, so you don't have to hear their bullshit anymore. You don't have to be up people's ass that don't care about your progress or care about your own self-development. You really need to distance yourself from those people, whether you have blood relations or not. This is very important. It's very important that you surround yourself with people that are going to be facilitating your progress and distancing yourself from people that don't, because they're just toxic sludge in your life. Bumble Hunter says, they haven't realized they spent more on their food than we did. My dad and brothers are always jealous of the steak, and they're jealous of, there's nothing stopping them from eating the same way. There's nothing stopping them for eating the same way. That's the thing. You're not stopping them from eating healthy. People don't realize, because they'll feel, oh my God, people are going to look at me weird. People are going to judge me for bringing my own food. I don't care. You have to stop caring about what other people think. Who cares what other people think? These women online, if you post these pictures before and after, people are you're gonna hurt feelings. I don't care if someone's feelings are hurt. If I say something on TikTok and like, I'm unfollowing, go unfollow. I'm not telling you to follow me. You chose to follow me. Go. You don't like my opinion on something? Go follow someone else who's gonna lie to you. Go follow someone else that's gonna tell you what you want to hear. Fine. Stay fat. Stay miserable. Good luck. Good luck. Mark, I even got into an argument with my buddy's neighbor who's in his late 50s and is a doctor. Went back and forth on nutrition, and he just dropped dead from heart failure last week. Oof. Oh boy. How many injections did he have? But it's a shame. Look, this kind of stuff is cumulative. This is why I say start now, start yesterday, right? The famous quote, the best time to plant a tree is 20 years ago. The second best time is now. Like, don't wait. It can be too late, right? That's why I'm saying it's never too late to start. For that dude that died, yeah, it is. Late 50s, now it's too late. So it can be too late. These habits compound and they have side effects. You know, I mean, I like some of what Dave Ramsey says, the finance guy, but he'll say stuff, right? And he'll be like, hey, if you put $500 away for 20 of this, you'll have $2 million, S&P, blah, blah, blah. Okay, fine. Maybe that's great advice for like the 80s. But it's the same way with investing, right? When your investment of choice decreases in value, that's not like the time to get scared. That's a time to buy more. That's a time to invest. If it's a good investment, things go up and down. You want to get the quality investment cheaper. And it's the same thing with fitness. You don't feel like it. Well, you go to the gym and you eat properly, and maybe you don't have a great workout, but you don't get down yourself and eat garbage. You still stay the course. You still take care of your health, and you push through, and you work on your sleep, and you fine tune, and then you're back on the pony, and then your strength starts going up and you adjust. So you have to do the training, you have to do the stuff and do the programming and do the nutrition, all that stuff when it's less convenient. And guess what? It compounds over time. And then, like we talk about, what year, how old, what do you guys think? What age does it really become evident as to who's taking care of their health? Because you'll have, in high school, yeah, some people are obese and X, Y, and Z, but people playing sports, you're 20 years old and you're obese. You haven't really had all those years being obese to like it really weigh down yourself. That's why you have all these fat activists are 25, 27. They look 47 and they're like, I'm healthy the way I am. Everyone else is mean. And then they fucking drop dead. It's like, well, you start adding years to that. But there's a certain age where like you'll see someone from high school or you see them on social media. You're like, oh my God, that person got fat. You could tell who takes care of themselves and who doesn't. I'm going to be 42 in a couple months. I feel great. My strength is going up. I feel awesome. My joints have never felt better. I feel fucking fantastic. You guys remember, like, even like 20 years ago, 30 years ago, being 40 was like you had back pain and heart disease and diabetes. Like 40 years old, you were on the back end. Just getting started, man. Sweet spot. So you can really start telling. You really start telling 30, 35, 40, the people that have taken care of themselves because it compounds. It compounds. We see some driving while gainings. I look back and, I'm not trying to pump my own ego, but I think I look back on some of these old driving while gainings. I'm like, maybe I look tired, or I look more pale, or I have more muscle mass now. It's like, yeah, I've been maintaining these habits and fine tuning and getting better. So, there's chronological age and there's biological age, and you start seeing the evidence of who takes care of themselves and what the better path is as you get older. And it can be too late. If you trash your body for 50 years, it's really hard to undo that. Yeah, you can make a lot of progress, but a lot of the damage has been done and you're doing your best to try to reverse it or undo it. Alex says definitely late 20s. Loretta says 35 to 40. Sheena, 35 plus. Mark says I'd say 30s, but I've seen 21-year-olds that look 40. Sure, and especially nowadays, you see 21-year-olds that are obese or taking a lot of anabolic steroids. I see a lot of people that are, hey, I'm a coach. I'm an IFBB coach. I saw some post pop up. I don't know who it was. The guy was ripped and taking steroids and shit like that. Like he was just like, but he was in his profile, I don't remember the name of the guy, but his profile, it said like, 35 or whatever it is, IFBB pro cards achieved. He's a coach, he's a posing coach. And obviously he's taking a lot of anabolics, but he said he's 34. And I'm like, dude, he looks like 47. It ages you a lot. Take care of yourself now. Sheena says, I started having high blood pressure at about 35, then high cholesterol and high blood sugar around 40. That was when I found the Swole fam and changed shit up. Mark says, all the people that bullied me in high school got fat or are dead. One that bullied me so bad back then blew his brains out and I laughed. Jesus Christ. That's sad. That's sad. But yeah, obviously you had a bad experience with that person, so you're not losing sleep over it. But again, paths diverge. Paths diverge and it starts to really show itself. It starts to really show itself. And what's funny is people always thought I was older than I was because I had a long beard. Remember the early episodes, right? Like 2017, 2016, my beard was fucking long and scraggly. And I look younger now in many ways just because my beard's more kept. I'm like getting it trimmed and stuff like that. But I'm also healthier than I was then. I'm getting more sleep. I'm training better. I'm getting more sun. I'm taking better care of myself than I was because I've learned things and I apply them. But now people think that people think that, I don't care what people think, but people generally think that I'm younger than I am, which is cool, which is great. That's the way it should be. And you put me next to someone else who's 42, you're going to see people that are, you go on LinkedIn and look at some executive or someone who's like 37. I'm going to look 10 years younger than this person. I'm not saying that to brag. It's just a product of your habits. And it matters. The Gandalf beard. Oh, it was some of those old ones were, I look at the beard. I'm like, Jesus Christ. Fucking Gandalf beard. Let's do a throwback. Maybe we'll do two. Yeah. All right. I don't know what this one is, but looks like Elizabeth Warren if she did crystal meth.
Women.
Dude looks like a lady.
We are inherently a danger in spaces for Black, Indigenous, and other people of color simply by existing.
That's not true.
And when we choose not to recognize that, we go from being dangerous to being an active threat.
Oh, brother.
So this is dangerous rhetoric. Threat means threat. Words do not mean threat. Thoughts do not mean threat. Your skin color is not a threat. You're not an active threat. That's nonsensical.
That's ridiculous.
If we don't like that, then we need to change the systems and destroy whiteness.
Ooh, destroy whiteness.
Makes you suicidal.
Destroy whiteness. That's some creepy shit. How weird is that coming from a white person? She's trying to martyr herself. You're not important. No one cares. You're just an idiot. We need to destroy white people. That's a real nice thing to say. What does that mean? That means murder. That means eradication. So she's so brave. So brave for defending BIPOC communities. Let's do this one too, because it looks dumb. She's literally confessing. Alex says you probably look younger than my brother, and he's in his late 20s. Indeed. Bumble Hunter says, looking back at pictures before my divorce is hard. I don't even know that guy anymore. Yeah, you change. And look, most people don't change. And maybe at your core, it's really a story you tell yourself. This is why I always talk about forging your identity around the 7 pillars and around fitness and someone who takes care of themselves, because that should be your locus. That should be that. This is your right here on the right of the screen, the 7 pillars. That's your locus of control. All those things you have the power to control. All right. Community, you can control who you spend time with. Nutrition, you can control what you eat. I'm not saying you have all the control that you should have. Maybe you don't have your own finances at this time. Maybe, you might have certain limitations, but you're putting food in your mouth. You can make better choices as to what you put in your mouth. Training, only you can control your training. Recovery, your sleep, your repair, your program design, that's you. Mobility, that's your control. Mindfulness, that's your control. Consistency, it's all your control. And what happens is people are constantly anxious because they're focusing on things out of their control. Now we're joking about Canada today, and people are like, oh, you're mean. I don't like your opinions on politics. I don't care. It's not in my control. So I don't really, it's like, the Canadian election doesn't directly affect me. I'm in fucking Florida. I'm as far away from Canada pretty much as possible. So it's not like it's a direct impact immediately in my life. I'm not worried about it. I don't stay up at night, worrying about that kind of stuff. What can you control? I tell people to go to the fucking gym. I do this podcast. I answer questions. I can't get you guys to go to the gym. All right, you signed up. You signed up for Swolenormous X. You have access to all this amazing content. I can't make you do it. You got to take control. You got to take your personal responsibility and do it yourself. Like, I can have the tools here, but you still have to build it. It's just a shame. Did we do this video? No, we didn't do this video yet. I think I talked about it.
I push. Why? First response I get is usually they want to be a father.
Well, no shit.
Most people that play baseball, they're like, I just want to play baseball.
Makes sense, but you can be a father to kids that are not biologically related to you.
It's called adoption. Welcome to Earth. You must be new here.
Ask why it's important for their kids to be biological. So many say legacy. This isn't Game of Thrones.
What's your problem, lady?
It's how you continue your life after death. It gives you hope for the future. It gives you a purpose. Yep. Like, we're all here to have children. Some people don't want to, but a lot of times there's regret, or they want to, but they don't actually match up with someone. I know that from personal experience. I've talked to many people, many elderly people. You definitely don't want to live life with regrets if you can help it. It's all choosing which regrets you want. That's what life is.
Yeah, that's pretty much it.
Yeah, that's a good quote. I didn't come up with it, but choose your regrets. Because doing one thing oftentimes doesn't allow you to do something else, right? If I'm going to the gym, I'm not going to the movies. If I'm going to the gym, I'm not, in the immediate term, I'm not going to the beach, right? You have to pick something. That's why current time, attention, people are worried about the past and they're worried about tomorrow. They're worried about their schedule, what they have to do tomorrow, the next day. What about right now? What are you doing right now? Okay. Right now, you can only do one thing. You can't multitask. People think you can multitask. Sure, you can put dishes away and listen to a podcast because they're both kind of like automatic activities. But attention is the most valuable asset, not just your time. What are you spending your time with? If you're somewhere and you're doing something, but then you're on your phone, you're splitting your attention. So living in the moment, doing the task, doing one thing, focusing on the most important things, that's all you can do. By doing one thing, you're not doing another by default. If there's 10 billion things to do in the world, you have to choose one right now. What are you doing? I'm doing a podcast. I'm not in the gym right now. I'm not eating food. I'm not taking a shit. Like, I'm here right now. I'm doing one thing. So stay in the moment, stay in the present. What can you control? Execute, set up proper habits, prepare, plan. and then execute and get better at it. All right, let's give away today's Swole card. It's Swole Slut. Thanks for being here, Beaches. Let's give away the Swole card. Where's my Swole Sluts at? I know we got a lot in the comments. We got a lot of Swole Sluts in the comments. Many Swole Slut. Well, I mean, this is obviously a Swole Slut, so I don't really have to. No introductions needed. Positive Charisma, PK. Congratulations.
Congratulations!
Yep. Card for Loretta. Oh, it's too late. You can't request it at the end. Well, PK already won, but I'm sure Loretta will win one in the near future. She's here every day. Congratulations. Send us an email to support@swolenormous.com. Swole card 3280 in the subject, your mailing address in the body of the email. Congratulations. And Loretta, oh my God, sorry about your country. Come on, Canada. Oh, Canada. Oh, Canada. We love, look, the country is different. So we're like, Canada's fallen, but we love Canadians. There's a big difference between the people and what the government does. A lot of times these government situations get so entrenched, especially, you know, I'm not an expert on Canadian parliament, but it's hard to change some of these things, especially when you can't just like freely run. I think in Canada, right, you have to get like the party that's in, they have to like allow you in. So people, you can't have like new people breaking into parliament. It's not like you can just run for an election. You have to be like approved by the party or some shit. So there's a lot of limitations there, but hopefully things don't get too bad before they get better. Usually they do, but we got your back. So defect. All conservatives in Canada, come on to the United States. We are ready to support your desire for freedom. So thanks for being here, Beaches. We'll see you tomorrow for 3281. Join the fam, swolenormousx.com. Buy one, get one 50% off. papaswolio.com. And we'll see you tomorrow. Peace, McGee, Stoops, Magoose, your boy, Papa Swolio. Out.
Crazy flow, need a straight jacket. Cash flow, I'm a bank addict. 6 subs, had the bass smacking. 808s, had the place clapping. 3 girls is enough for me, so I pull out like the stock crashing. Like an IPO, trying to purchase me. This a private sector, so you can't have it. Faking all that boom bapping. Who you think you is, boy? 90s want they sound back, so I give rap all these fake rappers as I take matters in my own hands. I don't need rapping, I don't need Zans. I don't need help, I'm a grown man. Now they can't laugh